relative velocity method, right? So we studied like two methods. One is instantaneous center method to find the velocity, and the other one is relative velocity method. This one is relative velocity method, right? So we'll see what is relative velocity is, right? Say for example, you have two bodies, right? So two bodies are moving with velocity A and velocity B, right? So this is the body A, and this is body B. They are moving with velocities VA and VB in parallel lines, okay? First we'll see for parallel and then we'll see for unparalleled movement. So when these two bodies are moving, right, we need to know how much is the relative velocity between them. So how do we find them? Say for example, we have this velocity of A is 50 meter per second and velocity of B is, say for example, 100 meter per second. Okay, we need to find now the relative velocity between these two bodies. In order to find that, what we will do is we will give the velocity which is equal either to this or to this, relative to which we are going to find the relative velocity. So, say for example, now this is moving with velocity of 50 meter per second this way, right? I will give another velocity, the exact opposite direction, which is again 50 meter per second, right? So when I give this velocity opposite to the direction which I already have, what will happen? This VA is this side 50 meter per second, and now I am applying another velocity which is that way 50 meter per second. So altogether, the resultant velocity of this body is zero, right? 0 meter per second, right? So now what I have done is I have stopped this body from movement, right? Now this body is not moving. All right. Similar way, I will do for this also. So since I have applied 50 meter per second here, I will apply the same 50 meter per second here for this body also, right? So when I apply 50 meter per second this way to this body, and this body is already moving in this direction 50 meter per second, sorry, not 50, 100 meter per second. Now the resultant velocity of these two is equal to 50 meter per second this way, right? Because this way is coming with 100 meter per second. I am applying 50 meter per second this way, right? So resultant is 50 meter per second, right? Now I can say velocity of B relative to A is equal to 50 meter per second A, right? Velocity of B relative to A is equal to 50 meter per second. So if two bodies are moving, right? If two bodies are moving, I will stop one body, right? I will stop one body, and relative to that body, I will see the velocity of the other body, right? So I will stop VA, and then I can see the velocity of B relative to VA, right? I can do the same for the opposite way also, right? So say for example, the similar case, right? The velocities and everything is same, right? So now I'm going to see the velocity of A relative to B, right? So relative to whatever the body which we are going to see, we will stop that body. All right. So now I am going to see the velocity of A relative to this body B. So now what I have to do, I will stop B, right? So if I want to stop B, I will apply 100 meter per second this way, right? This is already moving this way with 100 meter per second, right? I am applying another velocity this way to stop this body, right? So if this way is also 100 meter per second and that way is also 100 meter per second, the resultant is 0. Right? So now I have stopped the body B, right? I now stop the body B. Now I am going to see how much is the velocity of A with respect to B, right? So since I have stopped this by applying 100 meter per second to B, I am going to do the same for A also. I am going to apply 100 meter per second here, right? To A. So now the resultant of A is dA this way 50 meter per second, right? And now I am applying a force, not force, velocity that is 100 meter per second this way. So now the resultant is 50 meter per second this way, right? So the velocity of A relative to B is 50 meter per second this way. Velocity of A with respect to B is equal to 50 meter per second this way. Or else I can say 50 meter per second this way, but with the sign minus, right? This is how we find the relative velocity of two bodies moving parallelly, right? Moving parallelly. You know, parallel means these two will never meet at any point, right? These two will never meet at any point. Those two will go parallel to each other, right? So if I take this as like find write it in the equation, right? So you understand this concept, right? Now we will put it in the equation, all right? Now I am putting the equation. So I will mark few points. O, A, right? OAB. All right. So now, if I want this system, right? What I will do? OA, right? I'll write it like. Now we will put in the equation. Right? So I will erase this 50, 100 and everything. Now we will slowly move to the concept, right? Right. So A body moving with BA, right? B body moving with BB, right? So BA, right? BA is equal to OA minus OB, right? BA, right? This BA will be equal to OA minus OB, right? So this distance is this distance minus this distance. All right. So this is how we find the relative velocity of two bodies moving parallel to each other, right? So other way also you can write, right? So relative velocity will be written as velocity of body relative to the other body, right? Velocity of the body which we are looking at relative to the other body, right? So velocity of A relative to B. All right. So this is for the body moving parallel to each other, right? Parallel to each other. Now we'll see if the bodies are not moving parallelly, if they are moving in some angle, right? So these are moving parallelly. Now we are going to see if the bodies which are not moving parallelly and if they are moving in an angle. Right? Say for example, I have two bodies. A is moving this way, right? And I will take my direction B. Okay. And this is BA and this is BB. Alright. Now how are we going to form? So you know, if two bodies are not moving parallel to each other, those two will meet at a point, right? So this and this are not parallel, so somehow they are going to meet at a point. Alright. So I will extend. So somewhere here they will be meeting, right? So now we'll see how to find that. Right? So again, the concept is same, right? A is moving this way with velocity VA. B is moving this way with velocity VB, right? Now we need to find the velocity of either A relative to B or B relative to A, right? We'll write this as how to do that? say I'm going to find the velocity of A relative to B, which means I'm going to stop this V, right? So how I'm going to stop this V? Since this is moving with BB this way, right? I'm going to apply a velocity on the other way, right? So I will apply BB this way, right? So then, similar way, this BB I have to apply to this body also, right? Then only I can stop this body. Not stop until I can find. So in this particular angle, I'm going to apply a velocity BB, right? For A also, right? Here also I am applying BB to stop this. Same BB I am applying here also, right? So now this BB is stopped. This is not moving, right? BB is stopped. This is not moving anyway. Now I have a velocity VA this way, and now applied another velocity this way, right? So the resultant of these two would be something like this, right? You know, right? Moving this way. Now I applied another velocity this way, right? And the resultant would be connection of these two lines, right? So this is this VAB, right? So here we found the relative velocity of A with respect to B, right? VAB, right? So this is how we find the relative velocity of two bodies moving in unparallel direction, right? They are not parallel; they are moving in a kind of inclined direction, right? VA is equal to, formula is again same, right? So if I want to find the relative velocity, either VA minus VB, I will go for O VB minus VA, right? So for both these things, the magnitude is going to be same, but the direction would be probably different, right? Minus would be gone. Right? So with this brief introduction, we will go how to find the relative velocity in mechanism. How to find the relative velocity in mechanism. So mechanisms, you know, this 4-bar mechanism, cytochrome mechanism, quick return mechanism, we have several mechanisms. And we know that relative to a point, right, we can find the velocity of any arbitrary point on a mechanism, right? So we'll see how to do that, right? So now, motion of a link, right? So say for example, I have a link, okay? Say for example, this is a link, all right? Motion of a link. Say for example, I have a body, right? This is the body, which has 2 points A and B, okay? The relative velocity of B with respect to A, right? Relative velocity of B with respect to A is represented by the vector AB, right? Here we have the vector AB, and is perpendicular to the link AB as shown in this figure, right? So I told you, if we are going to talk about a link, right, the velocity of the link would be perpendicular to the link, right? So if AB is the link, then the velocity of AB would be perpendicular to the link AB, right? So now this is moving with an angular velocity omega. Omega is angular velocity of link AB about A. So this is A about this particular point. This is moving the angular velocity omega. We know that the velocity of the point B with respect to A is equal to VAB, right? Sorry, VBA, right? Velocity of the point B with respect to A is VBA, right? VBA. So this is the velocity of point B with respect to point A. So that is given by this length AB and direction, right? So here direction and length are important things, right? So VBA is this side, this direction, and this direction, right? That is equal to AB bar, right? Since this is vector quantity, we use this direction vector. So AB bar. So AB bar is equal to omega into AB. We know velocity is equal to R omega, R is radius. So if this is rotating about this point, this is the R and this is the omega, right? This is the omega. So omega into r will give you the velocity. So VBA is equal to omega into AB, right? Similarly, the velocity of any point C on the AB, right? So this is C, any arbitrary point, right? This is any arbitrary point. So velocity of this C with respect to A is this side VCA, right? VCA. So VCA is equal to length AC into angular velocity omega. That is omega into AC, right? Omega into AC. From these two equations, we can go for a general equation to find the arbitrary velocities, right? From equation 1 and 2, VCA by VBA, right? So equation 2 divided by equation 1, VCA by VBA equal to AC bar upon AB bar, right? AC bar upon AB bar equal to omega AC upon omega AB, right? Omega AC upon omega AB. So this omega and this omega will be removed, right? Which would be equal to AC upon AB, right? AC upon AB. So by magnitude of the lines what you are drawing, we can find the velocity, right? So the ratio of the lines, right? Ratio of the length of the line is going to be the factor, right? This is going to be the factor which will decide the velocity of the body. So when you are doing this numericals in this section, right? We need to look for the magnitude of what we are doing, right? So if a question is given, right, and if we are going to draw a picture for that question, right, we need to consider on the magnitude also, right? So that is, you need to go for a scale factor, right? Say for example, if it is given like a crank is rotating with some omega 100 rpm, is of length say like 1 meter, then you need to go for a scale factor. So how are you going to denote this 1 meter in your copy or exam paper, right? So say for example, you take 1 meter as 10 centimeter, then the scale factor is 1 is to 10, and you need to follow this scale factor throughout this drawing part, right? Because by measuring your distances and lengths, you are going to find the velocity. That's the important factor here, right? You see here, the ratio of VCA upon VBA, that is velocity of A with C with respect to A and velocity of B with respect to A. This is velocity, right? This is velocity. And if you see here, AC and AB, they are lengths, right? So the length will give you the velocities, right? Lengths are going to give you the velocities, and you are going to measure the length in order to find the answer, right? So here we need to mark this length according to a scale factor, right? So when I do a numerical, you will understand how it is going to impact, right? Right. Then we have rubbing velocity at a pin joint, right? What is this rubbing velocity is? So rubbing velocity, you know, if there's a pin, right? If there's a pin, then the pin, there are two links, right? So two links are going to the pin. So for example, like I have two links here, right? And they two are pinched by a pin, right? So when this is rotating, right? When this is rotating, okay, there is some kind of friction in the pin, right? There would be some kind of friction, right? So rubbing velocity at a pin joint, the links in a mechanism are mostly connected by means of pin joints, right? So if you take a linkage, right? If you take a linkage, that is mostly connected by pin joints. Rubbing velocity is defined as the algebraic sum between the angular velocities of the two links which are connected by pin joints multiplied by the radius of the pin, right? So, say for example, I have this link, right? I have this link, and both are rotating with some angular velocities, right? So, now how to find the rubbing velocity is the algebraic sum of these angular velocities, right? If only this is moving, or only this is moving, or whether both are moving, doesn't matter. algebraic sum of, so sum between the angular velocities of the two links which are connected by pin joints multiplied by the radius of the pin, right? So you might have studied this Gajan pin and all, right? So the pin might have some radius, okay? So that radius multiplied by the angular velocities algebraic sum. When the pin connects one sliding member and other turning member, the angular velocity of the sliding member is 0, right? So say for example, I have two links. This is one link and this is one link, okay? And they are connected by a pin here. And if this is moving with some angular velocity, if I have this as A and this as B, this is moving with omega A, and this is moving with omega B, okay? And the radius of this pin is R, right? Radius of this pin is R, okay? So algebraic sum means if this is also moving, this is also moving, we will have either omega A plus or minus omega B, right? So I will say what is plus and what is minus, right? Into this radius, pin radius R, right? When the pin connects one sliding member and the other turning member, right? So if it is connecting one sliding member, so this would be applicable for slider climb mechanism. This is a sliding member, and this connection is a turning member, right? In this case, the sliding member's angular velocity is 0. Why? Because there is no angular velocity, right? This is only velocity. So this rubbing velocity at the pin joint is omega into R. So this omega is only of the turning member, not the sliding member. So here omega is the angular velocity algebraic sum, and R is the radius of the pin, right? Okay. They are connected by a pin of some radius. Okay. So the radius of the pin is R. Right. Radius of the pin is R, and angular velocity of B is omega B, and angular velocity of A is omega A. Right? Correct. So omega B and omega A. Right. So if these two, right, according to the definition, rubbing velocity of the pin joint is equal to omega 1, that's omega A, minus omega B into R, or omega A plus omega B into R. This R is the radius of the pin joint, no problem with that. Right? If the links are moving in the same direction, that is omega A minus omega R. If they are moving in opposite direction, that is omega A plus omega B. So if they are moving in same direction, we will go for omega A minus omega B. And if they are moving in opposite direction, that is omega A plus omega B. So now you see omega B is moving anti-clockwise, right? Omega A is moving clockwise. So they are opposite direction. So now we have to add this. Right now we have to add this. If in the case this is omega B and this is omega A and this is our pin joint radius R, right? So here omega B is rotating in clockwise and omega A is rotating in clockwise. So here both are moving in same direction. Here we will go for omega A minus omega B for the same direction, right? If they are moving in same direction, that is omega A minus omega B. They can either be rotating in clockwise direction or both may be rotating in the anti-clockwise direction, right? Like this. It is same direction, omega A minus omega B, it is opposite direction, omega A plus omega B. Either they can move towards each other or they can move on the other way also. If this is omega B and this is omega A also, that is opposite direction, and we will go for omega A plus omega B into R. This radius is the radius of the pin joint, right? This is the radius of the pin joint, right? So this is what called as the rubbing velocity, right? Rubbing velocity. Rubbing means, you know, right? A kind of friction. So when these two links are moving, there could be a kind of friction, right? So in order to find the rubbing velocity, we use this equation. And this is for both the turning members, right? You know what is a turning link and what is a sliding link. So if based on a point, it is kind of making a rotational motion, that is turning member. If based on a point, it is moving backward and forward, that is sliding motion. So in this case, say for example, it's a kind of spiral drive mechanism, right? So here, this is turning member, right? Based on this, this is going to turn. But this one is a sliding member. This is going to go only backward and forward. Here, this is the turning member, and this is a sliding member. When we come across to such situation, we don't consider the angular velocity of this sliding member since it does not have any angular velocity. If it is moving in an angle only, it will have an angular velocity, right? So this is not moving in an angle, this is moving in a straight line. So which will not have any angular velocity, right? So in that case, we will consider only the turning member, the angular velocity of that into the radius of the pin, right? So this will give you the rubbing velocity of the system, right? This mechanism. So if both are turning members, then you will have algebraic sum of the members into the radius of the pin. If it is a sliding member and a turning member, then you will have only the angular velocity of the turning member into the radius of the pin, right? So this is all what about the rubbing velocity.